Everybody, welcome to the All Whites press conference for the game against Ukraine, which is tomorrow night here in Toronto, and obviously tomorrow morning in New Zealand. What we will do, as I said, obviously, is we'll record this and send this out to you afterwards, so we'll get cracking. So, Tony, what impressed you about the performance and win against Côte d'Ivoire?
Yeah, a lot really. It's been, we were pleased with all aspects of the performance, but it wasn't a shock to us. It's something that's been building over a good period of time now. But yeah, we're really happy with, the way we defended in the game. In the recent games we've been playing, we've had the ball for a lot when we've been qualifying for the World Cup. So it was nice to be tested without the ball. But then when we had it, we produced some good quality moments as well. But yeah, for us, it was just another game where we built momentum. We've been close to knocking over these teams recently, and it was nice to get one across the line, and yeah, we're looking to build it again from there.
And Chris, what lessons do you think the team will take from that game into the game against Ukraine tomorrow night?
Look, I think we'll take a lot of confidence into what we were able to achieve on the pitch. I think the back line was absolutely superb, the way they defended and controlled the game, especially playing out from the back as well. I thought they were excellent at times. So yeah, we've got to take a lot of confidence. We know it's going to be a tough game, arguably probably a bit tougher as well. So it's one of those that the boys have to step up again and achieve something more.
Okay, over to you guys.
Chris, this has been probably one of your biggest and busiest seasons. How are you feeling going into each of these matches, and what's kind of motivating you, especially in this All Whites group?
Yeah, it's been a massive season. It's been a long season, a lot of games. One of my most for a long period of time. So definitely the body's feeling the effects of that. I'm not 24 anymore. I can't bounce back like I used to. But yeah, it's one of those. These games are exciting. Playing these type of oppositions is what we've always wanted as players throughout my career, especially. So yeah, this is why everybody wants to be here and challenge themselves against the best. And we played the African champions, and they were a tough team and caused us a lot of problems. But the team came out on top and doing extremely well. And we have to go again and put two consistent performances together.
I just wanted to ask you, yesterday we saw you guys on the coverage of the Canadian Open. How were your nerves watching Ryan Fox?
Look, yeah, I think it was a lot more nervous watching than it is playing football. When you can't control anything, and seeing a fellow Kiwi doing so well, it was exciting to see, most definitely. He's done fantastically well, and having that opportunity to be there and watch that bit of history for him and qualify for the US Open and things like that, it's fantastic. So we were also pleased with him. He done it fantastic well, and he was a gentleman and gave us time after his round to speak to us and let us in on a little bit of information and how he played and things like that. So he's a great guy, and he's done New Zealand very proud.
Could you convince him at all to come along to your guys' game?
Unfortunately, he had to fly straight out to the US Open today. He would have said he liked to, but he has bigger fish to fry this week, and hopefully he can do some damage at the US Open this week.
And just before I hand on, it's back to business for you guys. What is the mentality at the moment? Is there tension amongst the team in trying to play for positions and that kind of thing?
Yeah, for us, we've come into this tour. We've had two tough games back to back. So we're African champions, then we play Ukraine, ranked I think 25th in the world. And for us, we qualify for the World Cup, and everything now is about preparing for that tournament. And when we get there, we're gonna, if we win our first group game, we're gonna have to be able to back it up in our second game as well. So that's really our mentality. Is we sort of set our stall out now. We set our standards. And typically we get better in tours as well as we get together. So yeah, tomorrow we're just looking to put in an even better performance against the team, and and if we do, then we'll have more chance that the result will go our way.
G'day, Tony, Chris. Tony, what kind of starting 11 can we expect tomorrow? Can we expect a few changes?
Yeah, well, there'll definitely be a few changes in the team. We're quite fortunate now. We have a lot of depth in our squad. I think people would have seen that in this game that we just played against Côte d'Ivoire, because we were able to bring on good players as the game went on. You know, Chris coming on, Michael Boxall, Ben Old, those types of players coming on, and yeah, for us is we can make changes in our team and it doesn't weaken the team at all. And so yeah, there'll be some changes there because we want to make sure that players are given an opportunity to prove themselves in these games, and it's also about building experience as well. We know when we go to the World Cup is, you know, we want to progress out of the group phase, and to do that we're not going to be able to pick the same team every single time. So yeah, for us all of these tours now are really about preparing as if we were at the World Cup itself, so we can learn those lessons.
And Chris, as you said, you're not 24 anymore, but the season you've come off and what you've done, do you feel like you're kind of coming into your peak as a footballer?
Hopefully there's more to come, and it's another exciting year going forward. I just felt like it's been a great season. I think both the clubs done fantastically well, and that's helped myself and scoring what I've been able to do. I think I've had a tremendous team around me to provide opportunities to score goals, and that's what I've thrived on throughout my whole career is people are supplying me with the right balls to have those chances. So look, I'm very happy with what I've been able to achieve. Hopefully there's a lot more to come in the next period of time, because I'm definitely not done yet.
No, definitely not. And an amazing season with so many sort of moments to savour. But what were some of your favourite moments of the season if you look back of the season with Forest?
Oh gosh, there is a lot. I think the first one started when the away win at Liverpool. I think it shown to everybody that this team can compete against the best in the league. And it just spiraled from there when we went five wins on the bounce over Christmas. It was just fantastic to see how much this team's come along from previous seasons under Forest, and yeah, it's fantastic to see where it's built to, and hopefully next season we can build more and have a chance of competing for silverware in the Conference League. Is going to be a huge thing, I think, for the club.
You talked just before Michelle's question about what the result against Ivory Coast does for this team. How are you feeling about the belief in this team now, especially with some of the young guys?
Well, I think that's what the last 2 years have been about. The 2 years have been about educating, growing as a team, growing as players individually, and then bringing the performances along to get to this point where in the last year, building up to a World Cup is where we want to compete and win games. We know we're going to face these type of oppositions when we come to the World Cup, and now it's about producing it. We've done all our building up foundation work throughout the 2 years previous, and now it's about putting it together and showing what we're truly about. And
how's fatherhood?
It's very different. Life has completely changed, most definitely, but it's fantastic. And mum and baby are doing extremely well, so I couldn't ask for more.
That's great, thank you. I'll hand back to whoever's next.
Hi Tony, Felicity from RNZ. What do you see as some of the different challenges that Ukraine will pose as opposed to the Ivory Coast?
Yeah, I mean, both very high standard teams. I mean, we knew that coming in, which is great. This are the sorts of challenges we want. From what we've seen, we do a lot of background research on these teams, and then we get to watch them play against Canada, and get to see how they prepare for this tournament. And we've seen that, from a defensive perspective, very organised. A strong ability to be able to press high, and also be able to defend a little bit deeper and counter attack, and maybe from an attacking point of view, very fluid in attack. So we know that there's lots of interchange, lots of rotations, and they've got some very good players that they try and free up to get on the ball through those movements. And our job is obviously going to be to try and limit those opportunities that they get to do that. But for us, really though, it's really trying to dominate more of the ball than we did against Cote d'Ivoire as well. We did do some good work on the ball, but we know we can be better. So for us, it's more about us imposing ourselves on the game, so being able to control the ball a lot more, and even when we don't have it, being able to make sure that we're dictating the game as well. But we know it's going to be a tough challenge against them, but like we said, it's exactly what we need at this time, because the more learnings we can get now, the better. And but getting learnings and winning the game, that's our ideal outcome for this one.
Yeah, kind of on that, after the win against Ivory Coast, what is seen as success against Ukraine? Is it a win or is it something else from your guys' perspective?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately for us, it's I know it sounds quite cliche, but it's about getting the performance right. And if we do that, then the result will come our way. But at the same time, we do want to experience coming to these windows, playing against two tough teams and getting two positive results, because we know if we do in the group at the World Cup, that's going to give us a good opportunity to get into the knockout phase, and then who knows where this team can go from there. So yeah, for us, I think the real focus of this next game is to back up what we've done, but to go to another level, because we know we played well in the last game, but we know we can play better. So for us, it's putting in a better performance, and if we do, then we've got every chance of getting a positive outcome as well on the scoreboard.
And Chris, as a player, having the success in that first game, does that push on for the second game? The players don't get any sort of complacency about, we maybe are at this level?
No, it gives us belief that we can compete against these strong teams. I think it's one that I think has really opened the eyes to everybody to know that we are capable of performing against these type of teams. And as I say, that's the standard we need to set, and we need to get better as well. We cannot fall below the standard we've already set in the previous game. And as Tony said, we need to strive to be better and have a better performance than we did the other day, which will only make us a better team.
And Chris, with your workload, managing your workload, there's no sort of hangover from that March injury or anything? It's just a long season?
No, yeah, it's just a long season. That's the most amount of games I've played for over 8 years, so I've been told. And yeah, it's just been a long season, and I just can't back it up like I used to when I was younger. Just got to take care of the body because I want to be around for a long time.
And given that, do you think that also gives some other players maybe an opportunity where you're maybe not taking as much game time in these kinds of games?
Look, 100%. I think we've got to prepare for everything. Come the World Cup time, we never know who's going to be available, who's fit, and how football is. So if there's a chance I'm not involved in the World Cup and things like that for whatever reason, we need someone that's ready and capable to step up and produce. And we've got more than enough players in this dressing room to do that. But it's about giving them more time and experience to be able to do that at the same time. So it's fantastic to see them, give them their chance and take their opportunity and show the coaching staff what they're truly and ready about.
And just one last one for either of you. Playing against Ukraine, and given the situation in their country at the moment, is there more importance or not about playing them at this time?
Yeah, I mean, for us is, I guess we just focus on what we're trying to get out of this tour, and we when we went to the game against Canada, the atmosphere and the crowd there was amazing. So many Ukrainian fans and people supporting them, and getting special to see their team. So yeah, for us to play a part in another game where the fans here can watch them play, and we know it's going to be a noisy atmosphere. It's great to be a part of, and then at the same time we've got our own selfish things we want to get out of the game as well, like we've already discussed, and that's taking that another step forward. And and ideally for us, we're putting in a performance where we can again have another upset. But I guess for us it isn't an upset. For us, there's an expectation now in this group that we keep getting positive results against this levels of teams. That's really what we're aiming for in this game.
Thank you.
Cool. Any further questions from anybody?
Tony, I was just wondering, you mentioned about the work in possession you want to improve there. Is there one thing you can do in particular to improve the work, especially in the final third?
Yeah, I mean, for us it's getting the ball there as often as we can is ideal. We felt in the last game, whilst we had some good phases and we looked really slick in our build-up at times and how we moved the ball up the pitch is, maybe at times we weren't quite at the level that we can be. Probably some errors, unforced errors, or some errors that were forced by pressure, but the ones that we know we can normally deal with. And I think that will enable us to get the ball higher up the pitch more often. And when we do get the ball in that part of the pitch, we know we've got to be clinical. We obviously had one clinical moment in the game for Eli's goal. But for us, it's about getting the ball in those areas more often, and it was probably something we struggled to do in this game. We didn't get the ball into the attacking third as much as we would have liked. But when we're there, we do a lot of work in our game on where we deliver and getting numbers into the box. But I think it's just about getting the ball into those high areas of the pitch, and then we've got a plan on what we do. It's just making sure our possession has enough quality to get us there more often. And we know the more often we get the ball in the box to people like Chris when we're playing, then we're going to give ourselves more chances to score. But at the same time, we showed in the game that sometimes if your possession isn't quite good, but we win the ball in dangerous areas and we counter-attack quickly, that's football as well. And look dangerous with a couple of set plays. So whilst we are looking to do that, we know that's not the only way we can score with this team.
And Chris, just back to the golf, are there any gun golfers in the All Whites team?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of us. Obviously, the 8 or 9 that were there with yesterday, we're all golfers and love to play. I think Oldie's probably the better one out of all of us, or Ollie Sale. So, yeah, there's some very good golfers on the team, and we all love it.
Cool. On that note, we will call it there. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tony. We will send this out to you all shortly. Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.